Chat. It's time. We gotta go ahead and swap these parts. All right, so we're gonna put in, and maybe I should come around this way. We're gonna be putting in the Assassin with the 120 RGB digital CPU cooler. We're gonna be putting in the Ryzen 7 9850X3D into the system. We'll be doing a motherboard swap today as well. The Bravo 850E Wi-Fi card right here, and then of course gotta change out the RAM. This is hopefully to stop the frame drops right here. If you're in already, I appreciate it. Everybody welcome. This is gonna be hopefully not a long stream, but we are gonna have to dismantle what we have going on right here. We're gonna prop you up on the mount that we have going right here to my right, and we're gonna try to do all the work where it's visible and make sure you guys can see what we have going on here. So without further ado, let's get you guys set up and let's get this build underway. The sooner we get underway, and if this works, which hopefully it will, because it's virtually a brand new system now. If this works, we'll be right back to flight streams. We'll be back to a lot longer, not longer streams, but longer streams, desktop streams and all of the sort. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Let's get you propped up here. We are going to go ahead, put you right there. Hopefully you should be able to see. Make sure that that's visible. And we may end up having to go, let's do camera. Oh. Okay, I thought I could do the zoom from here. Maybe not. All right, if that's the case, all good. Stand by. We're still coming together here. We'll get it right. All right, so that's good there. Let's go ahead and get this camera 0.3. That ought to give you a little bit more room. All right, cool. It's the one thing about not having backup channels. You don't really get to swap it. Okay, here we go. All right, there we go. Okay, see, now you get the full picture of the room. All right, cool. Okay, so as you guys know, we did the review of the $2,000 build yesterday. This stream is going to be brought to you by Micro Center. Let me put my phone over on this side, I suppose. We've got our Gatorade water. We've got our Sprite cherry. Okay. This is going to be an interesting build right here. This is going to be very interesting. Why is it going to be interesting? Because I've never part swapped a PC all the way down to the motherboard, which is going to include swapping fan headers, swapping USB headers. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to start off by setting up actually the motherboard on this side. Like I said yesterday. Okay, so yesterday we were talking about it and we said that it's going to be imperative for us. And I feel like I should even move the camera up or sit in a chair. Would it make more sense if I sat down? I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. What I said yesterday was it's imperative for us to be able to assemble the motherboard before you put it into the system, because this way you can make sure everything's done. And then as we do that, as we take things out, we can swap headers and everything like that. I think that that's probably our best option given the condition of the PC. I don't think that it should be too difficult. I think we should be okay. This case looks like it should fit this form factor here. Yeah, I'm eager to get this thing going. So without further ado, let's I guess probably raise the camera maybe. What makes more sense? I want to give you all a better angle. with less bondage. Okay, maybe not that way. We gotta bring you this way. We'll do the work on the right side. All right, cool. All right, so y'all probably won't be able to see me for the most part, but I think that that'll be okay. Let me make sure I bring my chat up on my screen here. That'll be pretty important. I want to make sure I can see everybody. All you beautiful purple. All right, Lego chat. There we go. Cool. And this, we'll pop this chat out. Done. Oh, lost it. All right, cool. Done deal. All right, cool. All right, so we got the chat up. We're good to go there. We'll be doing most of our work right in this corner, in this area right here. Should be able to see it. All right, so let's bring it over. We've got the ASUS, and maybe we should get a flash on. We've got the ASUS right here. We've got the AMD chip, CPU cooler, and then we of course have our RAM, 2 RAM sticks, 32 gigs right there. All of this, so we brought back the graphics card. Give you that story. We brought back the graphics card, and then they offered this bundle to me. Micro Center, shout out to Micro Center. I know that we're a Best Buy creator, but Micro Center right here has hooked us up today for this stream, and I will be forever grateful to them, especially if this works and the stream quality returns to what it was. All right, so let's make sure we can open these. And I told you the iFixit toolkit right here. So the iFixit toolkit, that's a great system to use as you look to build PCs or just maintain any type of technology that you may have at the moment. Comes with this entire set of bit headers. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. What is this? This is Wi-Fi. We really probably won't need this because we'll end up having Ethernet, but we'll keep it just in case. It is a Wi-Fi enabled board. Bring the whole thing out. Done deal. All right. So now that we've got this, oh wow, is this gonna fit? Oh yeah, that'll fit. That's cool. All right, that'll fit. ASUS board right there. Boom. Done plate. So we got the motherboards out. Some people will probably end up telling me that I should probably build it on this, but I won't be. We've got our nice set of stickers, Tough Gaming, TUF Gaming. We'll be throwing those on the case next. And then we do have, of course, we got 3 M.2 sockets, so that's good. All right, and then we do have our mapping for a RAM. So remember when I told you that the guy put the RAM sticks right next to each other? You're not supposed to do that. Still the case here. We're going to use the 2nd and the 4th slot. Let's go CPU. Okay, power. All right, chassis fans. Front panel audio. USB 2. USB 5.5 gigs, so this is going to be USB 3 header. ARGB. Okay, all right, I think we're okay. I think that we'll be just fine. Pin headers here. We do still have USB-C option. We have some USB 2.0, 5.0, a lot of USB 2s. Mic in, line out, HDMI. Okay, all right. Prepare the components is what it wants us to do first. Install the memory. Yep, we're good there. DIMMS. That's what we've got. For non-pre-mounted I/O shields, I/O shield is already on, so we're good there. Connect the power cables to the motherboard. Still have that there, so we're fine. Okay. Connect front panel system header. Where do we have that on this? Should be down the bottom. Yep. No, that's USB. Front panel. Okay, I see it here. It's right there. All right, I've got it. All right. We're good. Connect to Ethernet. Okay, cool. So only 7 pages of instructions. That's why they tell you to look through it first, just to make sure that you're good. Are these standoffs or what are these? These are just additional screw for M.2 Q latch. All right. Q latch screw. M.2 rubber. And this is a standoff. All right. What are these? What are those? SATA connector, SATA cables. We don't have any of those on this board, so we are fine. We are good to go. All right. So I want to make sure that we do have our chat up. Instructions didn't have anything on here, and I like to lay a towel down first, and then I'll put the static protection that it comes in on top of the towel, just so that the board gets a little bit more cushion. Wow, look at that. Look at this right here. Look at that. That's a beauty. That's a beauty. All right. Okay, this is the SATA section there. We're good on that. Front panel right here. Front audio. A couple more SATA connectors. We have the USB headers right there. This is low. This is incredibly low. Okay, so this is for bigger boards. They want you to snap this over top of it to keep it secure in case you have a bigger graphics card or something like that. Something where you won't be able to easily just hit the latch like this one will. All right, so we do have 2 SSD cards, so we'll be using both. We'll be using this one here for the M.2. We'll be using this one here probably. Double check if it has any preference on where we put them. Okay, so this is M.2 1, this is M.2 2, this is M.2 3. Yeah, so that actually does track. Is this supposed to go any certain way? Or does this just click in? Like what's the... There's not a lot of security on this M.2. I don't like that, but kind of be what it is. Same type of security here. I'm not seeing a screw for this. Option 1. Okay. So option 1 is to install the M.2, place it in, put it down. The Q latch clicks and locks. Okay, so it clicks, then we turn it. Insert the pin of the M.2 anchor into the hole. Okay, so there we should have a pin somewhere maybe. So this should click. Lock maybe. This is the M.2 rubber. I'm seeing a screw there, but I'd have to imagine that that's for the third one that we have down here. And this is screw for M.2 Q latch B. All right, so let's get into it. Let's start opening some things up here and see where the night takes us, if you will. It's a plastic piece. It's better than those little screws. Aha, okay. All right, good to know. Sorry, chat. We are. This isn't usually how we end up doing our chat. Usually, I pull it up on my desktop, but of course, the desktop is here. So, not the greatest ideal, but we're trying to make it work. I don't know if the angles are working for you all or not. I think this might have some more room to come up. All right, cool. All right, so the question, Ricky, is, was a Q latch supposed to come with this somewhere? I don't have a Q latch on here, and I don't see one in a box unless it's in here. Right, and see, this is when Primate Brandon comes out, because I'm not great at opening things for longevity. Let's try. No. Okay. There's nothing in here, which can all but assume that there's nothing in here as well, but we'll open it up. Nope, nothing in there. It's supposed to be connected to the motherboard. You're saying the Q latch is supposed to be connected to the motherboard. I've got the audio cover right here. So what I'm looking for is it's representing, I don't know how well you can see this, but it's representing this Q slide in this bottom right here. And it's saying I should just be able to install it. Quick slide. Maybe this is a slow moment. It's my first time using one of these motherboards. Usually before I start a stream, I like to prep myself, but I sat here and I was like, no, if I wait any longer, I might not do a stream today. So let's just open it up, see where it takes us, and do a part swap. Yeah, this is only, yeah, okay. So missing piece. I think so. Like we could certainly install the SSD and just not use the Q what they're calling a Q slide clicker to lock it in place. Make sure of the following. M.2 Q latch clicks and locks the M.2 in place. Secure the screw properly. Insert the pin of the M.2 anchor into the hole. Okay. So we can either screw this in, or there's a pin somewhere. We have the screw for the M.2 Q latch. We don't have a Q latch itself. We also don't have a pin for one. Well, you know what? Yeah, this isn't a slow moment. There's no, it's the only thing that we've taken off. This is not a slow moment at this point. And this is only stickers, right? Yep, this is only stickers. Okay. Interesting. Well then. Are we royally screwed? I don't think so. I think we keep pushing on. We keep trudging forward. All right. We'll move to the CPU installation here. We'll move to the CPU installation here. Install the CPU or match the triangles. Cool. Do not remove the PNP cap before the CPU is properly installed. Please refer to the manuals for more information. All right. Do 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 do. You were missing a screw on your first build on the M.2. Use the tad of super glue. Use the tad of super glue and it still does great. Okay, so this is more of a known possibility, right? This is more of a known possibility, not me. Like, cause I'm staring at this board. I am absolutely looking for what they're calling the M.2 quick lock. I don't see it on the board, and there's certainly not a quick lock in this box. And I've taken apart the stanchion cushion crate cardboard that it came in. There are no parts in there. So we are going to let it rock. We're going to keep moving. And we'll see where the night takes us. Strap in, folks. This might be a long day. I just got a text from one of our guys. Tomorrow, of course, we do have IRL coach mode again. We're hooping. That's going to be 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Eastern time. So expect an early afternoon stream tomorrow. Let me just make sure I respond here. All right. Uh-oh. Okay, so maybe I cannot close the app. All right, hold on. Everybody. All right, no. Is this a slow moment for me? All right. So I'm trying this new thing out, folks, where I have the ability to remote connect into the phone that you guys are seeing as an option here. Let's take it down briefly. And we legitimately might have to end up using this the super glue option. Let's see here. All right, cool. All right, done. All right. That's how quick that happens. We'll get you guys seated back in. Cool. All right. And view chats. Okay, so we have the chats going again. We are good now. Super glue it may need to be. Good to know that this is a common problem, though. Good to know this is a common problem. All right, so this is our CPU. AMD Ryzen 7. 9850X3D. So I think that this one's actually going to be better than our gaming PCs. Our gaming PC's CPU at this point. But I built that one 7 years ago now, so it's still working, still cooking. All right, we move our pin to the side, latch up. This ought to be able to. This is where I always. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. So I don't know if you guys get this angle well. X3D, what GPU am I going to use? So we're going to keep the GPU that we have in this system. It's a 3080. I'll run it back real quick. So we bought a 5070 Ti on Wednesday from Micro Center because we have a bottleneck on our stream, which I don't know if you've been to a desktop stream before, but we skip frames due to rendering about every 30 seconds. 12 gig? Yes, 12 gig, 12 gig. And we replaced the GPU, hoping that would fix the problem. It did not. We actually ran some more intricate tests, found out that the bottleneck was actually caused from the CPU. So we took the graphics card back, and we got Micro Center, shout out to them, actually offered us a bundle. And so that's why we ended up getting all of this for cheaper than the graphics card by itself, actually, funny enough. So using the same CPU, no. So in this PC, there is a i5 10400. That's it. It's an i5 10400. No letters, no suffixes on the back end of it. This was a pre-built PC. I got it for free. One of our guys moved out of his house, said he didn't want it anymore. So I took it. It worked fine. Then there was an update, and now we started dropping these frames due to rendering. Excuse me. So that's where we kind of find ourselves at the moment. The 5070 would work great with the X3D. Yeah, I know that would have been perfect. That's perfection right there. But budget, right? That was our only problem, budget. So let's go ahead and install the X3D. Find it. Okay, we have our arrow. This is how I end up doing it. So funny enough, people are always really finicky around CPUs. This is the portion of your CPU that you cannot mess with. That is the part of the CPU that you cannot mess with. Don't bend anything. Don't scratch anything. If you do, it may not work. However, we just need to pop it in. It's a nice situation because you just pop it in and you just leave it alone, right? So we have our arrows. There's a nice, I don't know if you saw it, but there's a nice little golden arrow in the top left right there. And so you just put arrow to arrow, put it in the system, close it. Arrow to arrow, place it down right there. And now this. Now the question is, does this pop up? Sometimes you have to take them off yourself. Sometimes we'll take it off ourselves today. Sometimes they'll just come off on their own once they're actually properly installed. All right. So our CPU is installed now. After the thermal paste. So the thermal paste actually, and I asked, which is why I did not buy any more. I was told that this comes with thermal paste. When I asked, they took it out the box, they took it off the shelf, and they pointed to the bottom right. Where, I don't know if you guys can see it because of this glare, but it says high-end thermal paste. Right there, it says high-end thermal paste. And so, we did not buy any more thermal paste because the people at Micro Center swore by it. And I really hate putting thermal paste on the CPU because it just looks so amazing like this. Shout out to it. Built in 2024, as you can see. Join the conversation. I think we'll be okay here. Hopefully it's not missing too. Yeah, hopefully it's not missing, because if it is, we have some problems. Houston, we have a problem. All right. And then now that the CPU is installed, this is my favorite part. We get to take the sticker. If the sticker wants to come out with us. All right, here we go. Here we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Sticker, because this is the case for it. So it will end up over here somewhere. Sticker goes right there. We are good. And so that's in there. I think that now we just move to the RAM. RAM is relatively easy as well. Sorry for this moving so slow, y'all. You know, I like to, when I do things for myself and for other people, especially for other people, I really go a lot slower. All right. Shouldn't have a problem opening this. Okay. It's probably pre-posted on the cooler. It may be. I really don't like it when it is that case, but I don't mind. Like I prefer to put it on myself just to make sure I put enough, but it is what it is. Ooh. RAM with a heatsink. Corsair Vengeance. Corsair Vengeance with the heatsink. DDR5 RAM. So we're going to take it. We're going to make sure that we insert it the correct way. Like I said, first two sticks. If you have 4, it doesn't matter how you... Oh, these actually don't fold out. Okay. So if you have 4, it doesn't matter how you put them in. If you only have 2, generally what you want to do is you want to put it in the 2nd and the 4th slot. If you're looking left to right. If you're looking right to left, it'll be the 1st and the 3rd slot, right? So we're going to put one in here. We're going to put one in there. That's going to be our 32 gigs of RAM. Generally, it's going to be with the lettering out. So we'll just double check. You'll know if it fits or not. If you have to jam it in, you are in the wrong. Yep, so that's good there. In this, ought to click when properly seated. Good to go. 2nd and 4th, yes. I'm telling you, man, you know, as much as I do this, it is, and I just want to make sure that this wouldn't go in the other way. Yeah, it wouldn't. Okay, cool. All right. Because I like to double check that I don't give out bad information. So if you see this, there is a notch, right? There is a notch right there. And that notch will also help tell you if you have it aligned properly, right? So like I said, first and fourth, or fourth and third, second and fourth, whichever your orientation is, it ought to tell you. And this actually kind of does fight you just a little bit. All right. All right, so we got 2 clicks from both right there. RAM is inserted, CPU is inserted. Next, I'd like to do the SSD. Do we have any stickers from here? Safety and compliance, no stickers. Come on, Corsair. If you spend $600 on RAM, I want a sticker. I want a sticker. $600 on RAM, no sticker. What is that? What is that? Should have probably put the fan on first. Yeah, I thought about that. I honestly did. Because sometimes you do run out of real estate. But if it's anything, it's funny because if it's like my first build, I actually couldn't install the RAM because I had 4 sticks, so I couldn't install the RAM in this first slot right here with the CPU cooler on. It wasn't until I took the CPU cooler off, then you're actually able to seat it in, and then you're good. Pre that, nuh-uh, not happening. But I like the advice here. We will be opening this now, and we'll take a look at how this is supposed to be installed. Do they have any preference? Okay, AMD, we have that here. All right. AMD, do we need a plate on the back? No, we do not need a plate on the back. Plate comes with. All right, we'll be removing these. There's a kind of like protective braces right here. We'll be removing those. And then we will, oh, in their diagram, the RAM's actually already installed. So that actually is a good sign. Good sign there that we haven't messed something up. And this is a header for, okay, all right. Okay, cool. All right, cool. I kind of want to actually install, I want to install the SSD memory first because it is going to sit here. And I have a feeling that this is going to be hard to get to once the CPU cooler is installed. So let's go ahead and knock out the actual beast here. Yeah, I'm starting to get that feeling from this board. Like every once in a while you get a board where it just works, where it doesn't matter what order you put things on it, as long as it's not the graphics card, but as long as it doesn't matter the order. You can put the RAM, you can put the CPU, you can put everything else. It doesn't matter because nothing's covered. But this one, it seems like everything's, to be honest with you, oddly spaced out on this board. Like there's not a lot of headroom for this. Get the super glue. It all depends on the setup of the motherboard. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I've had some motherboards because I've probably built maybe 10 PCs in my time for myself or for other people. And I usually don't have any problems. right? It's all just learning the motherboard that you're building on top of and making sure that everything fits properly. This is the first time I've ever done a part swap, being that not a part swap inherently. I've swapped out graphics cards. I've added SSD cards before. I've changed CPU coolers. I've added RAM to PCs, but this is the first time I've changed a motherboard and the processor, which gives me more feeling of like I'm just building a brand new PC with RAM or with memory already on it. Because we're not going to be setting it up as new, we're just going to put the SSD cards that we already have in there on it. And I'm going to hold off actually on the second SSD card. So we're going to do the first SSD card. We're going to boot it because that's going to be the boot SSD. And then once we boot it, then we'll add the second one just to make sure that the boot process happens properly because it is a new BIOS. So yeah, you built about 15 to 20. Oh, so you know what you're doing. You know what you're talking about. You're like, yeah, I know my way around a PC or two. You don't want your Windows 11 going to SSD? So funny enough, my Windows 11 will be going on. It is on an SSD. It's been on an SSD for the last 5 or so years. Because my hard drive corrupted one day, blue screen of death, and regular SSD, not M.2. Yeah. Oh, for sure. So this is the 3080. For anybody who's wondering, this is the 3080 that we have. Zotac Gaming. Poor brand, but once again, pre-built system. Got it for free. Can't really knock it too much. Would I have bought a Zotac graphics card? Not a shot. But beefy, that's what I said, right? Like, would I have bought this? No. I would have bought a ASUS, an MSI. Realistically, I only buy ASUS or MSI graphics cards unless I'm buying directly from NVIDIA, which I've only done that one time. And even then, I think it still had a brand to it. So, like, there you go. That's how often that'll happen. So we're good there. We're gonna go ahead and get this M.2. So we have two M.2 NVMe SSD drives. All right, we have two of those right here. And this is going to be the first one. What the? What the? Chat, there's nothing, there's no M.2 here. There's no M.2 in here. All right, so now I have questions. Now I have questions. Okay. Not under the cooler. Let's take up this middle gaming portion. The okay, here we go. I think I found it. Cause I just added an M.2 to this system, and I know where I put that one, which means that it has to be probably under this main portion. Yeah, usually it's in that first slot. Tell me that this isn't stripped. Oh man, they stripped this too? Oh God. Who did he buy this from? Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. All right, there we go. Gotta add size to the problem. Don't ever let them tell you that size doesn't matter, chat. Don't ever let them tell you that. Okay, that's sleeper agent conversations. All right. Don't let it happen to you. All right. Let's get this up. Ah, here we go. All right, so here's our M.2. Oh, God. They really did go cheap with everything. Jesus, man. Jesus. Well, what do you mean? I'm looking at an SK Hynix SSD card. Chat, it's a 1 terabyte SK Hynix NVMe. This is about as cheap as you get. Very old. Very old. Oh, man. Sometimes I just want these guys to like come and ask, you know? Okay, so how does this work? Does this snap in? Or am I supposed to just click it in? Okay, I think I figured it out. This goes in here. No. It slides. Oh, does it slide up? You got one latch or two? It looks like... Show your NVMe. Okay, no. So the SSD card is inserted into its spot. The SSD is in its spot. I mean the securing point for this. Like, is this supposed to... That's where the super glue goes because I'm missing the piece? Oh, God. No way. There's just no way. That can't be true. I refuse to believe that. Like, there's no way that they legitimately just don't send it. Where are we? This is the motherboard. Yep. One drop. Okay, no. This piece does go on top. This doesn't actually get secured like you would think it does, the first one. The second one, I think that's just God's work. Okay? I think the second one is just God's work. And It does not have a heatsink plate on it. It's just the the SSD card. However, we do have a, where did I put the we do have its own cover for it. And as I found out in my other motherboard, they allow this cover to be how you screw it in, which I don't love, but I guess that's what we're doing now. Like, officially, I'm not a fan of this at all. If this goes in, maybe the cover has a latch. I'm not seeing it. All right, let me see. What do we have going on here? Something's not right. Something is not right here. Okay. Let's take one of these screws out. If they do come out. Doesn't look like they do. Okay. And this, chat, is when I usually turn to a video. If impossible to figure out on my own. All right, so we've got this one in. Are we getting any tension? Okay, so now we've got tension here. Is this bending the board? Hold on. I'm actually starting to get nervous here. So I don't like this if this is bending. Okay. No, we're not bending it. It's just the way that it looks. All right, but then this card doesn't want to seat properly. Okay, so we got to do it from the back. Pause. All right, I think we got it now. All right, the card is properly seated. Card is properly seated. M.2 is in. There we go, question mark. It just went doot doot. All right, so we're gonna have to assume that this is in. Either that or we just broke an SSD card. Realistically, I think that we're okay. There's no tension showing on the card itself. The card is flat. Relatively. Let me get some light in here, man. All right. Okay, so that'll be what it is. We brought the chat back up. Maybe we need the watch. I think we're okay. I think we're all right. I will say I didn't love that at all. I didn't love that at all. Yeah, this goes to the other one. I did not love that in the slightest. Okay, so we got the first one in somehow. Let's keep moving. Team, let's keep moving. Folks, we have secured an SSD. Maybe. All right, next, we'll take these off. These are the braces for the CPU cooler. Keep these screws on us. I remember the first ever motherboard that I bought. It had the option for like multiple chipsets. Only time I've ever seen that. All right, so that's good. That's out. All right, so here we are. Styrofoam. Is my RAM RGB? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Which personally I'm not a fan of because that just takes a little bit of RAM to run, but whatever. It was part of the bundle. We'll let it rock. All right, so here we go. No thermal paste on the CPU cooler. We do have thermal paste right here. Very good. And then it looks like we should have a display system. On the thermal light. It's small. Good thing I'm running Ryzen. Yeah, because this is bulky. I'll show you when I get this thing off, but that is bulky. I've never had a large CPU cooler though. But then again, I've only made one Intel build. So this is our fan right here. This will be for the fan header. Very nice. It's got display. Yep. Very nice for the display. I like that. We had the instructions for this right here. So as you can see, and I'm just going to make sure I'm not tripping. All right, so we have the brackets for it. We have the stanchions for them, and we should be perfectly fine there. Hope it's not stuck at 28C on the display like yours is. Oh no. All right, let's. Oh, Ziploc, nice. Very good. Like bags like this. Okay, so we don't need C. We need F, D, and H. Dang, they were so close to FDR. All right. So these right here are going to be for the actual fan. That's how the fans are going to snatch on. This is for if I had an Intel plate. You would not be needing this. Okay. Slide this up just a tad. These can go in here as well. Done. Brace 1, brace 2. And we have our Thermalite thermal paste. All right, so the other guy did icing on a cake from The Verge. We won't be putting icing on cake today. We will be. You sub, now give me $5. We won't be putting icing on the cake today. We'll be doing a little bit of dollop. About a pea size is all you need of thermal paste. Though honestly, if I'm not lying to you, I do always put just a smidge bit more. Okay, I do always put a smidge bit more than a pea, just because I feel like you want good contact, right? You want good contact. That's all it is. Okay, so let's see here. All right, D, F, and H. H is going to be your AM4, AM5s, which will be the red ones. All right. Okay. Are we opening today? See. Just like when you open a bag of fries, man. Put the fries in the bag. Use 5 small dots. That's not a bad strat. That's not a bad strat. What I usually do is I usually do a dollop in the middle. God, man. I usually do a dollop in the middle, and then I'll go for small dots around the edges. Okay, I usually end up doing small dots around the edges. So, all right. H goes on top of these. Any order? Does it matter? No. AM4, AM4. Cool. All right. So H down. We'll get AM4 sticking up. I will say I hate that these aren't black and that they are red, because aesthetically for the motherboard, black would have worked the best. I think she love me. Low-key, Uchi don't love me. Okay, so now the question is this going, can I ask, does that GPU run good on 1440p? Yes, it does, actually. I've been using this GPU for the last probably about 3 months, 4 months. What month is it? We're in the 7th month still for the next few hours. Yeah, so I've been running this for the last 5 months, give or take, at 1440p, and it's worked for me. Granted, I'm not gaming on this PC, which is why we didn't truly need a 5070 Ti, right? I'm not playing games on here. I'm just rendering videos from the gaming PC. Yeah, so without further ado, these go outward. And I'm placing these into the corner holes. Screw up. Okay. Yep. Well, I wanted to make sure that I'm placing this with the screw outward or the screw in facing in. Doesn't make sense for it to be in. So out it is. All right. Wait, let me see. Your best GPU is a 4060 Ti. It's decent. I like it. Now, see, on my gaming PC, AMD build, again, that one is actually sporting a RX 9070 XT. Yeah, so that's what that one's sporting. In that one, I mean, I run Microsoft Flight Simulator. I run Microsoft Flight Simulator on the highest of graphics with no frame drops, no problems, no stuttering. So I cannot complain about that choice there. Do I play Marvel Rivals? I don't actually. I've been told to. I was told when it came out that I should get into it, but I just, to be honest with you, never did. I was always I'm a Siege player. I'm a hardcore Siege player. I've been playing Siege since it was in closed beta. Siege. I used to play Call of Duty a lot. I really fell off of that. Like, I couldn't even get into Overwatch. What's the Xbox game that they came out? Titanfall? The original Titanfall? I tried that one. I liked it a little bit, but I never really got into it. Titanfall 2, never gave that a chance, to be honest with folks, if I'm really truly being honest here. And yeah, that's my experience there. And then I play a lot of sports games. And then on my PC, I do flight simulators, RimWorld, a lot of indie games, Mecha Chameleon, some other small, lesser known games there, Sim City, City Skylines. So like we play a lot of things. Am I gonna play the new GTA, sir? I pre-ordered that game the minute it was possible. I think I might have had like the 10th copy, pre-order copy. I legitimately pre-ordered the game. If it came out on Saturday, I pre-ordered it Saturday midnight and one minute into the day. Like the clock, because I do 24-hour clock. The clock when I reserved the game said 0001. That is when I reserved GTA. That was a no-brainer. It was no other choice, to be honest with you. All right, so let's go ahead. Jay, so we're doing thermal paste. Your stream PC is more stout than my gaming PC. So my stream PC, this was the stream PC. However, we were having issues with what it was. This was free for me, and so now we're putting it in. We're doing a couple upgrades here, and it is now becoming more stout than my gaming PC. To be honest with you, the only difference between this and my gaming PC is my gaming PC has 64 gigs of RAM on it. Way too much, I know. All right, so here's the icing time. It's icing time, folks. You use a RX 480 for your stream PC? Oh, that's not bad at all. I take it that means you stream because you're talking about a stream PC. So we are going to drop you a follow house once I get back to my desktop here. Welcome in, of course. I believe that I have a first time chat from you. If I see that color from my side here. All right. Let's do it. Doesn't play games anymore, but it'll stream all day. All right. Pea-sized dollop in the middle. Little bit there. Little bit here. Little bit there. Little bit there. So we do five. We do five. Pea-sized dollop in the middle. And then we do a little bit on the corners just so that the spread actually gets out there. For the $8 you paid at Goodwill, it doesn't matter to me. Oh, no, for real. Like this one, couldn't care less about it. Got it for free. This now is an investment at this point. This is now an investment. So let's go ahead here. Okay. Peel off the label before you use it. Time to get used. You're waiting on it for PC. See, I can't even blame you for that. I can't blame you for that. I cannot blame you for that, to be honest. Now, question is, where is the closest USB header? Because you need a USB header, it says. All right. USB header is at the bottom. Okay, cool. And no, that's not a USB header. All right. I don't think it is, at least. It might be. Let me see. We have a motherboard. Wait a minute. I think that is a USB header. It's not listed, though. This is a USB header. Unless I'm the slowest guy on planet Earth, this is a USB header. Boom. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. We're going to go with it's not. Okay, so we're going to go with it's not. That means that this needs to get down here somehow. We'll go ahead and take this off. All right. So, what games do you play, House? House 414? All right. Okay, so this is going to be the top of it because the thermal light here is sitting there. This ought to be enough room for a reach around. Mostly old stuff. Now, when you say old, are you talking like Supreme Commander old, or are you talking like Rainbow Six old, or Mario World 64 old? What do we mean when you say old here? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put this on now. Aligned. Lift it. I don't mind that at all. This actually is not spreading, so we're going to go ahead and put just a little bit more down. Okay. Now, B, why do you put so much thermal paste down? I use a lot of thermal paste. Dosed Cold Vision to XB1. Jesus, okay, so when you were saying old, you actually did mean old. I respect that. I can respect that. All right. Now, one may be asking why I put so much on there, and purely because it won't overload, it won't overlap. But we do need good connection here. Otherwise, heat won't transfer too well. You won't be getting new consoles again? Oh man. I'm hearing that more and more these days. If I may, why not? All right, so that is coming in. Yeah, why not? What turned you away from consoles? I still play my PS5 a lot. Is it just time, or you're not spending $1,000 on a PS5? Yeah, honestly, that's fair. Honestly, that is fair. If you're gonna spend so here's what I say. If you're gonna spend any money on an Xbox, just buy a PC. Because if you have a PC, you have an Xbox. But if you have a PC, you don't exactly have a PS5 or a PlayStation, right? Because all the Xbox exclusive games come out on PC as well in the Microsoft Store and the Xbox Store, whatever you want to call it, right? However, PlayStation exclusives like Spider-Man, unless they recently put it on PC, they weren't coming out on PC originally, right? So you got to get a PS5 to do that, but otherwise, the controller I had, PS5, never used. You sold it. That's blasphemy in my realm. That's blasphemy right there. All right, so the CPU cooler is installed. Let's get these. And so I absolutely hate these wires, these wire hooks, because they try to get you to think that these will securely keep it down, and it does. Honestly, it does a pretty good job. But like, it's not what you want, right? It's not exactly what I want. CPU fan. All right, so now we're looking for a CPU fan header. Play a lot of MMOs like World of Warcraft. Can't blame you there. Cannot blame you there. What is this? What is the CPU OPT? You got something that's listed as CPU OPT here. Number 3. Optional? CPU, okay. CPU optional, gotcha. All right, cool. Oh, I think my phone just died. Chat, we've run out of chat. We've lost chat. Okay, I think my phone just died. It just cut off and it's not turning back on. So that's not great. Everybody stand by. We're gonna try to pull you up on this on this desktop over here. Okay, all right. Content should be right here. Good. And control room. Where is chat? Chat is here. Okay. All right, we got you back. Chat, we got you back. You're a little far at the moment. When the phone comes back up and gets enough charge on it, we'll bring you back. But until then, I'll do my best at using my vision. We'll use my best at using my vision here. I suppose I could pull my iPad. Let me see if I got my iPad. Sorry about this, chat. I guess remote connect used more battery than we thought it did. All right, we've got 35 here. All right, this should be perfect. Currently loading your shopping cart on. Oh God. You, sir, are what I call a problem. All right, let me see. Profile, stream manager. All right, that's there. YouTube, let's pull that up.
Day 32 of the Togi Fitness thing, we're gonna be doing a grocery haul. As you can see, our fridge just has bullshit in it. And you know, we gotta start off with the shot.
Okay, we're getting there. Apologies for the break. Apologies for this break here. You're my videos. Yep, we are live at the moment. Okay. How do we done? All right. Videos. I don't even know if there's a way to test this. If anybody just gets mad at me, just angrily write messages in the chat, and I'll hopefully eventually see it as I watch the video back and realize that I'm the worst streamer in the world. Anger, anger, anger. Okay, wait. What? Where did my chat go? This is poorly made. YouTube is poorly done. Where did my chat go? There it goes. All right, there we go. Okay, so we have one chat. Can I? There we go. All right. So this is probably the best I've got for now. And we'll try to make it work. All right, so we'll try to make this work. Apologies for that. We'll try to make what we've got going on here work. I just pulled it up on my iPad, both chats, and we've already lost 5% of battery. So I fear we can't have this up for long, but that should give my phone enough time to charge and reconnect. All right, so where were we? Fans. Okay, so we got to get this fan on. Does it tell us how it wants us to connect the latches onto the fan? Is it anything specific? Or is this a common sense figure it out situation? Doesn't tell you on 4, but B looks like it makes sense. Yep, B. Yep, B. Okay. It does not. No. So I've been looking at the Chinese side the entire time. Okay. All right, so we're good here. We are right here with it. No screws necessary, of course. Does it have a this side? All right, so air's coming this way. All right, cool. So we're gonna go this way. We'll plug in fan header here. How do you guys have this on? Top one. Okay. Done. All right. That seems doable enough. Seems common sense enough. Is that sturdy? Sturdy enough, I suppose, huh? Okay, all right. All right, I think that's good. Which means that we can go ahead and plug this fan header in. Optional fan header. Okay. Done deal there. Let's just do a little bit of cable management. And keep these tethered. All right. That's a done deal. This one's gonna have to kind of go around underneath. Okay, so it knows it has to come around. All right, cool. All right. That's not a problem. This can go back in the box. Box. These can go in the box. Gotta take a chance on the surge for $3 reviews. Say it's Souls. But it's like sci-fi exoskeleton type deal. Ooh. Ooh. What's it called? The Surge? I don't have a pin. But I do have screenshot capabilities. Screenshot. Aha, welcome in, Makai. Wow. That took a while for that screenshot to happen. Okay, so we have the M.2, we have the RAM, we have the CPU cooler, we have the CPU installed. We actually should be good for an install now. You only look at games once they're on sale. Honestly, that's valid. Honestly, that's I can't complain on you that much. All right. So these, where did these come from? These came from this. All right, these came from this. Oh, dropped the screw. All right, these mini screws came from this plate, which is where the M.2 came from. This also came from this mini plate. That's good to go. All right, so now is this the piece that we've been dreading, chat? Is this the piece that we've been dreading, low key? USB 3. I don't think there's a place for that to go in. Is that problematic? This feels problematic. You just found out that you can respond to a specific message? Jesus. Gonna start placing bet in your stream every time I drop something? We need a drop counter now? Yeah, I have dropped a lot of things, haven't I? Am I entering clumsy territory? Is that where we're entering? That's really the question. If I'm entering clumsy territory, I can no longer do this stream. Good idea. All right, so I got the M.2. This can get placed back on it before we lose any pieces off of this plate. Might as well go ahead and reinstall it. Nothing's going to be blocked. Don't think anything of importance. Yep, nope, we're good. We'll see you later. All right, cool. All right, that's good. These need to be taken out for a moment. Don't drop them again. All right. That's seated properly now. Gravity will hold it. All right. Am I fat fingering this with a screwdriver right now? Hold on. Okay, there we go. All right, cool. All right, that's done. All right. Cool. So that's done. That's out. Honestly, I should probably take the other M.2 out now. Cross that bridge when we get there. Cross it when we get there, chat. I guess this is the part that we've been slow playing now. CPU fan went right in CPU fan 1. Yep, we went there. We already put that in. That's done. Power is still good to go. Okay, good there. It doesn't look like that's mounted to anything of importance. Screw wise, stanchion wise, we got one there. 1, 2, 3. They did a poor job screwing this motherboard in, actually. Wow, did they really cut all the corners possible? Is this something that failed when I was putting the PC together or just repairing? No, so we're really just taking the guts out of this, putting new guts into it. Basically, it's a new PC. Or it really is about as new as you can get a new PC while retaining the memory. If it's like when they reset C3PO. Okay, so we need now to low-key remove everything. All right, so let's do that. We need scissors for this zip tie. Funny enough, I just put this zip tie on here 2 days ago. Already getting cut. Okay, done. And this actually needs to go in this box. All right, in the chat, I know I've said it once before, but like I said earlier, we do have basketball tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time, so expect that early afternoon stream there. We're hoping to bounce back and get our second win, be 2-1 in our league. Okay. We don't run no problems, we just talking. All right, so should be good to unscrew the motherboard. One there. All right, let's all make sure we have a count here. Taking out motherboard screw number 2. All right, screw 2's out. Screw 3. Screw 4. Nope, not all the way out yet. Yep. Screw 4 is out. And I'd imagine that there has to be a 5th screw up here. Yeah, it looks like it. All right, so before we do anything, we're gonna need to unplug some things. I don't know, low key, the tech guy in me wants to like take whoever he got this system from to court. Like this is poorly done. This was poorly done. All right, so we need some cable management. Where did my straps go? I just had a couple straps over here. I might have used them though. Yeah, I used a couple of them already. Yeah, that's a shame. So Chad, I had some straps that would have been used. There it goes. I had some straps that I would have used to kind of keep these cables organized. Well, I'm taking them out because they don't. They may or may not have labels on them, and the more I'm doing this, the less I believe they have labels on. Okay, so where is this going? This is video. This is graphics card here. I guess that'll just go right there. Am I missing any other screws before I try to rip this thing up? Doesn't appear that way. This needs to come up. That's up now. This is up. Okay. Now, we do have one more screw. Okay, cool. All right, so we do have one more screw. Then hopefully we should be okay. And this one's in a precarious position. We're gonna try to drop her in. Loki need a little bit more light. So let's drag this bad boy to the light. Turn it, twist it. Ah, everything's black. It's all dark. I need a flashlight. I need a flashlight, chat. Hold on. How much battery? 41. That'll do. Battery, flashlight. Like, what is this placement? All right, there it goes. There it goes. All right, screw number 5 out. I think they might have gone your route of glue at this point. What the hell? Do I have tape, or are some of these new wires colored? I do not have tape, and none of these wires are colored. I do not have tape, and none of these wires are colored. Warranty void if removed. Oh, what the hell is this? All right, let's turn this thing up. Let's turn this thing up now. Let's get this side off. Turbo Overkill. I think I've heard of that game before. Turbo Overkill. I think there was a demo out for it a while back. Okay. Okay, it's starting to come now. It's looking like an old boomer shooter, huh? Interesting. Why is this not removing itself yet? There's one screw. Got this one. Done. Done. That one's loose. HD audio. Get that taken out. HD audio's out. This has got to be for the USB header. Yep, that's out now. And this USB header's coming out. Oh, okay. So that'll fit. That's done. Okay, so the worst comes to it. We've got this for our cable tie management situation here. We'll just tie all of these together. Make sure that these don't go too far. It's from Apogee. Apogee. All right, here we go. All right, we have movement. Keeping her standing up here. Max needs to lay it down. Lay it down. This might be the best option for it at the moment. Okay. All right. So the problem now is that all these cables are in pre-motherboard being seated, pre-new motherboard being seated, and they're getting in the way a tad. Okay. What is still on here? All right. This is what it must feel like if you're a brain surgeon and you remove somebody's brain. You're moving chunks of brain out here, huh? Good God Almighty. All right. So this is now out. Done. We'll put this on a protective sheet right here. Okay. That's on a protective sheet right there. Round of applause. We got the first bit done. All right. Okay. Here comes the hard part, I guess. Little swig, little hydration station. All right. Best way to do this now. I fear the best way to do this We got to get the motherboard sat first. Okay, we get the motherboard sat or seated. Sorry, excuse my language. Get the motherboard seated. Motherboard seated. We have 5 screws. I think if you're smart, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the middle. They opted to go weak on the ends, and the stanchions tell that story. I don't have any more stanchions. The motherboard didn't come with any more motherboard stanchions. They came with M.2 stanchions. Usually your case will do that. But since we didn't buy a case today, we kind of have to rock with what we have here. So without further ado, I guess we will begin trying some things. All right, I guess we're gonna have to start trying some things here. And we'll take it from there. All right, so let's get all these cables. And ideally we can strap them up or something. I know I've looked for these straps already, but I had them. This is the ADHD brain. I'm sorry, chat. This is the ADHD brain you guys are witnessing at the moment. The brain of a deep ADHDer. We are. I think they might even be outside. I might have put them over here. Let me see. Sometimes you have slow moments, B. Not the best and the brightest at times, you know. And that's all right. And that's okay. All these street lights going happen to me. All right. Yep. We'll call the search. Time of death. 10 o'clock. Whatever time it is. All right. Let's get back into it. Of course, though, we are going to find it. Chat. So I fear we're going to find what I'm looking for as soon as I finish this build and no longer need it. So, all right, let's go. Let's do it. We're in a good spot. We're in a good spot. We just now have to find a way. Find a way. Name of the stream. Find a way. How about that? You got Spider-Man No Way Home. OnlyyBrandon. Find a way. Just get to a better spot. We're in a good spot. We just need to get to a better spot. I like that. If you're watching tomorrow, I will not thank you when I use that as we are hopefully up at some point. All right. So this goes in here. All right, I think we got the cords kind of put up for now. We've got a good bit of space to work with. I'm gonna turn it, twist it. I hope you guys have a better angle of it now. And if you don't, we'll just move it this way just a touch. All right. That might help. All right. This will end up passing around. Okay, so we'll pass that through. Up. Lord Jesus, let this work. Okay. We have sausage fingers, chat. Okay, nope. Everybody hold on. I think this will need to come off first. If you don't take this off now, I fear I'll never take it off. So that's going to come off. This, you really do have to be pinned up here. I really need this pinned up. Got to swoop in and place it. Okay. Swoop and plant. Okay. Cause I know my destination. Okay, so that's not in there properly yet. Golly, man. Low-key, it might be. Hold on. Is this how it's supposed to be? It's aligned on everything. All of the screw holes are aligned. If I move it in any further, it won't be aligned. So I think that this is how this is supposed to sit. I think I've just got depth now. What the heck? Hold on. Yeah, no, I guess that's just how it is. What the heck is going on here? All right, well, chat, I think we're in a good way now. In the words of old Chelsea. So we've got 5 screws to place. First one will go here. All right, let's make sure the screws go in. Atta babe. Like the motherboard's on the standoff. First screws in. One, two, three, four, five. Well, chat, if you were here, you witnessed what might be the sketchiest motherboard install ever. I mean, this is some sketchy actions over here, man. Nope. Add it to the drop count. Add it to the tally. All right. That's done there. And this is next. Top corner. Fuck. All right, cool. So the motherboard's installed. I'm relatively confident about that. I fear we don't have any more screws for the motherboard. I hope I didn't just show y'all my password. Motherboard's installed. M.2's installed. Now we just have to plug everything in. Plug in the graphics card here, and we'll call it a day. We'll see what happens. Chat. I think we've made it. Low key, I think we've made it. All right. So let's see. What do we have here? These are for the graphics card. We know that. Power for the motherboard. Nope. Let's see, this is where it gets sketchy because there are no standoffs on this end. Okay. Right. I'm sorry, I know chat L angles. Feel like I need to. All right, so we got to bend this around. This one needs to go in first. So this one, let's get this in first. Okay. CPU. All right. Okay, so that's done. These are going to go to the graphics card. This can get plugged in. That can get plugged in right in there. All right, that's in. Okay. USB goes into the USB first slot. That'll go into USB 2. Now we stand up the system briefly. Get these cables falling. And this one needs to go to the USB area. So it'll come out over here. Actually, we'll have it come out up top here. Just drag it out. All right, that's a done deal. Let's get the front panel audio in. HD audio. You are now in. Make sure we have good connections here. Yes, yes, yes. All good to go there. All right, front panel pins. That needs to go in. Then we're graphics card. And then chat, we're going to be ready to boot. We're going to be ready to boot after that. All right. Or are these the motherboard? No, that can't be it. All right, let's see what we got here. This is reset, HDD, power switch, reset switch. Power button. So power switch, reset switch. Oh man, I miss when the yep. I miss when the front panel system was just one easy to insert one. All right, so this is power switch. So that should be going. Power switch should be going to these two. This is the reset switch, which should be leaving these two alone, that first one. So this is reset switch. All right, this is power switch. Okay. This is HDD. And this is power. Yo, hold on.
So what?
I'm in open chat. Hold on. Oh, there's Morgan Wallen.
So what?
Give me 5. Give me 5. All right. He's at a Morgan Wallen contest talking about some. You said what? You said what? All right. Bitch, that nigga say what? All right, cool. So power minus goes on the right, positive goes to the left. So this is how this is gonna go in. All right, cool. So that should be done. That should be good to go. You need at least 10? We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right. I think we're good. Low key. We didn't have USB header. Yeah, because this one can't even go in there. All right, chat. I think we're in a good way now. All right, so let's get the graphics card installed. We'll poke this one out. I don't think we're missing anything else from being plugged in at the moment. I'm just looking down the bottom here, making sure that's the case. Yep, everything's in, everything's plugged up. We are good to go on that front. Cooler master still there. All right. Nothing's missing. So that's good. All right, GPU time. Chat, we've come a long way. We've grown in these 2 hours. We have grown in these 2 hours. If you see my butt, I'm sorry. I'm fat. I don't know what to tell you. All right. Time for the graphics card. Where did I put that at? Here it goes. Graphics card. Let's go ahead and plug power. 1. 2. Hold on. We might have to flip the cabling around. Cabling's right here on the front side of it. All right. All right. That's in. Graphics card is now seated. Do I love the cable management here? I absolutely do not. Oh. Let's get screws in first. We screw this in place, and then we can worry about cables. All right, graphics card is now in. Am I going to screw it down or up? I'm going to screw it down. Screw it down because of the orientation of the PC at the moment. However, us screwing it down is going to hold it up. Okay, so the fact that we can pick up the PC and nothing fall or no screws come loose is a very good sign. I would just like to say that much. Very good sign there. Gravity's going to do its thing with cables here. So we're not overly worried about these cables there. Those are good. These will tie down. Front panel cables here. Get a tie down. And even these can even be wrapped up now. All right. Let me just see if I can't get a good wrap in here. If I can get a good twist. All right, cool. All right, so we did our best on cable management here. It's as good as it's probably going to get for the setup of PC that we have. Yeah, that's just gonna have a lot of extra wire on the back of it. That's just gonna be natural. This is coming in here. All right, that'll plug. Tuck that underneath. This will come down. If I had another cable tie, we'd put that in. But we should be good, chat. We should be good. House, thank you for being here. Ricky, if you're still here, thank you for being here. If you're lurking, I appreciate you lurking. For the folks that have stayed this entire time, for the folks that have just gotten here, thank you. It's been quite the journey. And I fear that this is coming to a close soon, hopefully. Because that means that this was done correctly. And if it wasn't, I'll be banging my head against the wall until it works. So, pray for us. I might say case closed. You know, I like this guy. I like this guy right here. This guy here, I like him. What a guy. What a guy. All right, case closed. Pun intended. Shout out to House. All right. Okay. Well, now we've got to tell the story, right? Or do we hold this off? I fear we need to hold these stickers off until it works. You suggest more stickers? Well, so like I said, not my PC. It came stickered already. It came pre-stickered, pre-built. I got it for free. But we will have to add more stickers to let them, you know, as the great Jalen Milroe once said, you gotta link sometimes. You gotta let a neighbor know. All right. And you can replace neighbor with any other N word that you want to use. Okay. The N word that he may have used might be in Paris at the moment. But we have those stickers. We have these stickers. We won't quite clean up just yet. We're going to go ahead and plug the system in. I fear there's not a great way for me to show this at the moment. So what we'll do is, because it is the first boot, that's boot. Yes. It is time for the boot. What's the best way to do it? So we're going to boot it over here. But we're going to move you guys hopefully to like a chest angle maybe. So this way you guys can see my screens as they come up and hopefully see what I've got going on. So just give me a second. I know you guys are up there. So just give me one moment. I'm going to move this over here, plug in some of the cables, not all of them, just a few. And we'll get some things up and running here. All right, hold on. Nothing falling is a good sign, chat. Nothing falling is a very good sign that we may have done something close to being right. Time for power. A very skilled plumber we can see. Yes, apologies, man. Apologies. Power. We have light. We have light. The RAM is up. Get a load of this right here. New CPU installed. NV corrupted. Okay, everybody wait. Uh-oh. All right, not great. Might be needing some extra research here. All right, so let's do some quick Googling. House, thank you for the follow. I really do appreciate it. 327 in the house. 328 in the house now, it would appear. All right, let's press Y. The FTMP will reset. Your system should proceed normally. Scenario 2, you use BitLocker. I don't have a BitLocker. So we're just going to go ahead and press Y and see what happens. Should we boot to the BIOS? Low key couldn't type for a brick just now. Uh-oh. All right. Okay. Press enter to set up or recover BIOS. Please enter setup to configure your system. When RAID configuration was built, ensure to set SATA configuration to RAID mode. Please press F1 now to enter your BIOS. Okay. All right. Don't believe I can show too much stuff that'll ruin me here. So this is our BIOS. I'll give you some of this, give you get a better look at it, right? This is our BIOS now. We should be in a good way. We should be in a good way here. We have one CPU fan. It's not showing up any of our chassis fans at the moment, but that may be its own problem. The fans are spinning and the RGB is working for the fans, so I'm not overly worried about that. Boot priority, Windows Boot Manager M.2. We're good there. All right. Getting devices ready. I'm actually really excited about this, chat. I'm actually really excited about this. Still getting ready.